Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves a Scrap with my next layout for the Series 14 Christie's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, and today I'm doing day 16, which is from Ashley the Scrapping Nerd. I'll put a link in the bio down below. This is my page, my layout that I did with my daughter and I in Cairns on our recent cruise, and it was a lot of fun, and these photos needed to just be scrapped for this layout. I've collected a whole lot of little bits and pieces which I'm going to use to embellish, and I'm going to use some black cardstock and some aqua cardstock, and I'm also going to have these three photos with the iconic fish in Cairns. I've got some teal enamel dots that I'll put into the embellishments, and I'm using the uniquely creative new range of travel called Grand Adventure, and I'm using the paper Trailblazer, Jet Set and Tourist for this one, and I like both sides of each of these papers, so I'm glad that I've got doubles of each in the pack. I'm going to start, just as always, by creating my frame. Remember, I just do this so that I title off my pages and finish them off and give them a little bit of definition. I use a 1-inch frame because I always gut my papers. This is the Kaisercraft cardstock, and I need to remember that it has that branding strip at the bottom so that it will fit in my album when I cut it down and put it away. I'm going to use this one here to create my circle effect from the sketch, and I've cut it out on my Cricut with a 10 3/4 circle, and I'm just going to trim a 1/4 inch off each side so that it fits onto the frame, with leaving a little bit of a black edge showing. Putting it down one edge at a time, make sure that there aren't any ripples in it and it's nice and smooth. Alright, and for those that are new just to my channel, you noted that I like to use everything to the best of my ability and spread it as best I can. With this here, I'm distressing it with a distress tool just to give it a bit of an effect, to give it a lift off so you see the black underneath without actually making it a big prominent feature. The strips down the side of the page, as outlined by the sketch by Ashley, require 6 strips, but I'm going to do 7 because I like odds. And I had first of all adhered them onto the page, and then I went back and I thought, oh no, I actually want to do some weaving, so you'll see me do that in this outline. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm going around the edges of those leaves and flowers on the edge of that paper because I actually like them and I don't want them to be hidden. So I'm going to weave and blend my strips into the background behind them, and then I'll glue them down over the top so that they look like they're enveloping the strips and keeping them as part of the page as well, because I just think they were too pretty to hide. So you'll see I go and adhere these all down, and then I go, oh, I needed to actually weave, so I lift them again, but that's why I only put a small bit of tape until I'm happy. I'm using my awl here just to pick up the edges and put them down so that they overlap and it looks like it's part of the paper. I'm alternating between the aqua colour and the peachy colour to make a more of a weaving effect on the page as opposed to just the strips sitting there. I have only just taped one end and the other at this stage. Now, this was a great day in Cairns with my daughter and I. We'd been on our cruise. I think this was our 4th day, and she'd actually hurt her knee on the ship, so we went into Cairns to get a knee brace so that she could support her knee as we were walking around and doing what we needed to do. And we spent the day, it was a bit of a grey overcast day, but it was still warm, as you'd imagine. And here you can see that I've lifted those strips because I'm weaving this circle into the strips. Yeah, and we spent the day down in the lagoon, and that's what these photos are from. So I've woven the circle through the strips and I'm leaving the last two because my photos will go there. Now I'm happy with that. I can seal the flowers at the bottom down and make sure that they're in place, holding the strips in place and sealing off the page. That way they all look like they blend in and are a part of the layout. I'm going to use a trick I've learnt from watching YouTube, where you just use glue on the tip of your fingers to seal down edges and without making too much mess. And there you can see that that's now nice and flat. I'm just sealing this circle into place, and now I have the main part of the layout done. Strips to the side, circle in the middle. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to mount my photos, and in this layout I'm using some hidden journaling because I don't want the journaling to overtake the layout, but it's important that it's there. So what I've done is I'm just cutting off the excess of the pool down the bottom because it's really not necessary because it's just blue water. I'm going to mount all of them in black to match their framing and give them a bit of a pop off the page. And then this one I'm actually scoring in the middle and folding in half because I'm going to have the hidden journaling under the photo, and the photo is going to sit like on a card, and it will be part of the layout, but the journaling is hidden, which is often good when you have a very busy layout but you also want to include the story. I've taken this very fine balsa wood title. It says "To travel is to live," and I've painted it with black acrylic paints, and I've put it to the side to dry while I put these photos down. And you can see that I'm making sure that they're straight, and one is going to be woven through those strips to tie it all together. And then I've got my journaling there, so I'm adding a little tab in the yellow which picks up the yellows in the paper, and I'm going to put that into place because it's sitting as my 3 photos. And there's my journaling, which is, as you see, quite a lot, and that would have looked quite bulky on the page, so I'm hiding it and I have it in behind the photo. Not for any real reason other than I wanted it on the page, but I needed it not to ruin the page. And so I'm putting in my title now, and then from there I'll go around and build all the clusters. And remember, you just keep playing with them until you're happy and you've got them to the right level that you like. As you can see, I love looking at these photos because my daughter was really, really very happy on this cruise, and she's been going through life, just living life and surviving and doing everything day to day, but here she actually was enjoying herself, and it was nice to see. We had a really good time together, and it was a really good cruise, and it was special just because it was just the 2 of us, which is not often easy to achieve when you've got 5 children all demanding time, but this was a great opportunity for us. So I'm gluing down all of the bits, as you can see. I'm doing them as loose clusters this time, not tight clusters, so they're like a spray. I've added in some word phrasing to add some eye candy, sort of draw the eye around the page looking at each of the photos. Putting in those tiny little flowers, and these flowers are actually mulberry paper, so they're got some texture and some depth. You can see I've got 3 others to the side which I actually end up not using. I thought I might, but I don't need to. And I'm just putting in that last word phrase on that tab, and when you open up the journaling, I'll put the sunglasses in there to give it a bit of tie into the fact that we had our sunnies on. I'm using the enamel dots here to build the clusters and finalize them, sets of 3 and 1s, always in the odds. I'm going to do some faux stitching around the edge of that circle just to lift it off the page that little bit more, making it a bit more of a centre focal point for the layout, and just adding in those final little bits of details. I'm going to add on the date for when we were on our cruise, and I'm using a date stamper down in the corner, That's always an extra feature that I like to add. Not always, most of the time, however. And there's my layout. As you can see, 3 photos. I've got some hidden journaling. You can see the clusters are loose clusters. Odds, all of the things are odds. Nice for the eye. And those journaling in behind, and those strips are used to weave and tie the page together. Great sketch from the Scrapping Nerd, and as I said, I'll put a link to all of the videos down below that have been doing this great layout for day 16. Thanks for stopping by. Hope something inspired. If you did, leave a like, leave me a comment of what you would like me to see to do, change, make better. Always after feedback. And thanks once again for staying and watching through. And remember, journaling can be part of your page and hidden as well. Follow me on Insta to see more of my work. And thanks again. This is Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap. I really appreciate the time it takes you to sit here and watch, and hope you return for my next video. See you next time.